Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Vedopanishadic epistemology of coexistence of the multiple and plural is a never-ending topic of discussion. It is also an open-ended discussion because there is always the possibility of addition, improvement, flexibility, and all these things that constitutes its dynamics. Let's see the dharmas existing in Bharat, beginning with the Sanatana Dharma, then the Jain Dharma, the Bauddha Dharma, and also the Sikh Dharma. These are the fundamentals. Now, those who failed to understand, or those who were incapable by virtue of their epistemological strength to understand the Sanskriti of Bharat, they many times made a mess of these things. For instance, see, some philosophers, which many others accepted subsequently, made a distinction between the orthodox and heterodox system. In the orthodox system of Bharatiya Darshana, they included Nyaya Vaisheshika, Sankhya Yoga, Mimamsa. And in heterodox, they have included Jains, Bauddhas, and also Charvaka. Ironically, they did not mention the Sikh Dharma. Maybe that was only in the offing during when those people who tried to study Bharatiya Darshana. Now, this is a very, very crude and unrealistic way of looking at Bharatiya Dharma. First of all, such distinctions do not exist. That's wrong. And the criterion which they adopted to make a distinction between Orthodox Bharatiya Darshana's parampara and heterodox is highly reductionistic. Those who accept the authority of Vedas, they are classified as Orthodox, and those who do not accept the authority of Vedas, they are classified as heterodox. Now, both these, again, are reductionistic. Now, they have they have imported their concepts of understanding from their own background, be it from within Bharat or be it from outside Bharat. See, for instance, who is an atheist in the Semitic context? Anybody, a Christian who doesn't accept Christ as Son of God, is explicitly an atheist, and that is as simple as that. There is no in-between path. And that goes well with Islam. Now, that such concepts do not exist in Bharatiya knowledge tradition. So, to term Maharshi Charvaka as an atheist and at the same time to call the Jain Dharma as atheistic and the Bauddha Dharma as atheistic is not just wrong, it is atrocious. Look at the Hindu tradition on the other hand. That is what I was trying to speak about right in the beginning. Look at a Hindu. There are Jain temples. Palitana is a great center in Gujarat. There are Jain temples. You find everyone going to Jain temple. Those who want, they go. It's not exclusive to Jains. Hindus go. Same is with the Buddha Viharas. The Hindu goes wherever he pleases, whichever appeals to him. Now, the same goes to Gurudwara. Of course, Gurudwara you perceive directly that everybody goes into the Gurudwara. Wherever you go, whichever temple or Gurudwara you go, you follow by their system. And that's the same thing in any Hindu temples. Different Hindu temples have different systems. And when you go to one particular temple, you follow that system. It's the same thing with Jain temple and the Buddha Vihara and also Gurudwaras. And Hindus go to these places not out of any compulsion. It's a kind of spontaneous attitude towards a different. They don't even consider it as a different faith. They consider it as a faith, like their own faith. Because Hindus among themselves have multiple faith systems. Fundamentally or basically, we have three streams of faith system: the Vaishnavism and the Shaivism and the Shaktism. These are three streams, and these three streams have their own exclusive and varieties of rituals. Doesn't make any difference to anyone belonging to any of this. They worship cutting across traditions. Now, see, today we have the BAPS, the Swaminarayan Parampara, the Swaminarayan Prasthana, and the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. They have their own exclusive way, and they have their own exclusive philosophy. They have a concept of Akshar Purushottam, which the great mind like Sadhu Bhadresh Das, very close to me otherwise personally, calls it as Akshara Brahman in his wonderful book Swami Narayana Siddhanta Sutta. They have a concept, Akshara Brahman, and that is acceptable to all of us without any effort. That's the point. Without any effort. We don't have to make any effort to say yes to that. And that's a frame. As a frame. It's like, we have different frames of mind. The same individual, we have different frames of mind. Like when I talk to my students, I am in a given frame of mind. When I talk to my children, I'm in a different frame of mind. When I talk to my colleagues, that's a different frame of mind. And to my friends, different frame of mind. And with different individuals with whom I normally interact, one interacts in a given different frame of mind, whereas the frames are not really different. They are varying frames of mind of the same mind. That is important. They are varying frames of mind of the same mind. That's exactly what happens to a Hindu who goes to different temples, multiple temples, with multiple deities and different patterns of worshipping. He does it as spontaneously as spontaneous can be, very easily, effortlessly. He doesn't have to be conscious about it. It's very spontaneous. And many of us will go to Akshardham, and many of us will take part in their pujas and rituals, and many of us do interact with them. We don't have to make any effort to offer our respect and praise there. We have no problem. So, suppose you are traveling, a Hindu is traveling through the banks of Narmada. The banks of Narmada has got so many temples. So many temples. You just travel through the banks of Narmada and you come across a temple. Many of them were Shiva temple, but you just don't bother which temple is it. You feel like offering a puja, going there. You just do your part and come back. It's only after entering there you even become aware, not even conscious, but aware of that which deity is there. You look at the deity, then you know this is this. And then there are times that you don't even recognize the deity, because our deities are multiple forms. There was a confusion with some people that I came across very, very recently, that somebody was asking which is his deity. Then somebody was telling it is Dakshinamurti, basically Shiva. Then somebody was telling it is something. And someone was answering it is Sundareshwara. They're all Shiva. And then the person was asking a doubt, if it's Shiva, where is the snake around his neck? Nagendrahara. That Panchakshari says Nagendraharaya. So, where is that? Then another person was trying to answer. See, look, Sundareshwara, Shiva is called as Sundareshwara because nobody understands how handsome he is, because he is Jatadhari and always with bhasma around him. And it's when he was getting married to the mother goddess, he is minus all those things. And then the people who looked at him become shocked at seeing how handsome he is. So they called him Sundareshwara. And the Sundareshwara who is going to get married he won't be carrying the snake around his neck. So these kind of variations and varieties are there. So our deities are also different in different context. The same deity. So we really don't bother. And that same attitude is the attitude by default of a Hindu to any faith system. He is not trained to, or he is not initiated into making differences between different faith systems. And that is how we coexist. So the amazing Vedopanishadic epistemology of the coexistence of the multiple and plural functions from within the structure, functions from within the thought system, functions from within the very being ontologically. So the Jain Dharma, it's a temple to a Hindu, and he accepts Tirthangara, fine. He accepts Buddha as an avatar, fine. And when he comes to say the Guru is Guru for the entire nation, because we have a Guru Parampara. We don't say that you follow this Guru and don't follow that Guru. You follow any Guru, and somebody is following a Guru, and somebody is following a different Guru. They don't quarrel. They don't even dream of quarreling. They don't even think in terms of that Guru is different, this Guru is different. Without expressing, without speaking, he understands all the Gurus are variations of the one ultimate Guru Parampara of a Guru Sampradaya of Bharat, which is the Sampradaya within the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition. And who has any objection or who has any problems in accepting Mahavira Swami Tirthangara? Offering respect to him, who has any problem? Nobody. Same goes to the Buddha, Bhagavan Buddha. Of course, Buddha's case becomes little more logical, in the sense, little more, they have systematized little more by accepting Buddha as one of the avatars of Vishnu. That's it. So this is the simple, explicit example of the Vedopanishadic epistemology of coexistence of the multiple and plural. And that being the case, that is the ontological status of Bharatiya thinking. And you come from somewhere and tell my own brother who happened to change his faith from being a Hindu to Islam, for example, tell him to disrespect, tell him not to accept it as something, or tell him to keep the not faithful, the unfaithful. The word Islam uses is kafir, kufr. Reject them, and then they go to the extent of destroy them, etc., etc. The beginning of Pakistan is like that. But where is the Vedopanishadic epistemology of coexistence of the multiple and plural, and where is this separatism? And this is a very unfortunate situation from ignorance. It's an unfortunate situation from ignoramus, who are ignorant and who are ignorant of who they are. In Bharatiya context, somebody who refuses, who calls the Hindu as a kafir, or or anyone, any others as a kafir, doesn't understand who himself really is, who he is really, who he is fundamentally, what constitutes his essence of existence. All these things are overlooked, neglected, ignored, and then subsequently forgotten. So, the coexistence of the multiple and plural is actually built in the knowledge tradition of Bharat, and that is how we look at the entire world. That's why our nation has never bothered to, never attacked anyone, even when we were very, very powerful. We did not attack anyone because we did not want anything from anybody. We did not want to change anybody into our ways. We have our own ways, and at the same time we understand somebody else has his own ways, and his own ways is right for him. Now, our ancestors were so sensible to understand that my right is in my capacity and my place, and his right is in his capacity, and therefore it is right for him. And since it is right for him, I would accept his right as his right and respect it. And now you find some people trying to lecture us on secularism. And those who try to lecture the Sanatanis on secularism really don't understand what secularism is, they would say. And for them, secularism is allowing them to do whatever they feel like, and we should keep quiet. And these kind of things keep taking place. So the point is, the very land of Bharat has living examples of the Vedopanishadic epistemology of coexistence of multiple and plural. And I am trying to give an example of that from other dharmas existing in this land, that is the Sanatanis, the Jains, and the Buddhists, and the Sikhs. Now, all these are originally from Bharat and rooted in the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition. And some people who said they don't accept the authority of Vedas doesn't make any difference, because nobody is asking you to accept Vedas as an authority. Nobody is telling you to treat Vedas as of divine origin. Such things are there with other books, not with any of the Bharatiya books. We don't have such concept of an authority which cannot be questioned. We don't have. It's not the case that we cannot analyze and interpret scriptures. We have the abilities and we have the freedom, and we had been analyzing and interpreting scriptures right from time immemorial, and it still goes on. So nothing is written on stone. Written on stone cannot be changed. Such things don't exist within us. So the flexibility is inbuilt within, because we are so sure of its knowledge tradition, our ancestors at least. We may be not that capable of living up to the level of our ancestors. We know that whatever may be the case, we are so sure of our knowledge tradition. We are so sure of our so-called dharma, and we don't get offended when you try to offend us. And we don't consider that even a sacrilege. People do that to us. Temples have been destroyed. We feel unhappy, but we don't feel hurt as somebody else would feel hurt. Somebody else, of course, do not really feel hurt, they feel lost. We may feel hurt, but we never feel lost. We know that this is temporary, and whatever somebody is destroying, a temple is destroyed, that's not an end temple. It will come up again. How many of our great temples were destroyed? At least their architectural value is lost. The spiritual aspect, the dharmic aspect will always come back, will always be re-established. But the architectural aspect and the many of the other things will not come back. And in reality, that really doesn't make any difference to the faith system. it really doesn't make any difference to the Sanatanis. So, those who approach Bharat, those who want to understand Bharat, those who want to live with us, should also understand the epistemology of coexistence of the multiple and plural. They need not to go into the Vedas to study about this, but they should understand that there is a possibility of existence, coexistence, no matter how you appear to be different. Of course, for us it's not difference, for us it is variations only. There is no question of difference in that sense. It's only variations. And try to understand Bharat not through the snake charmers, but through the Sanskriti of Bharat, but through the epistemology of coexistence of Bharat. You don't have to go through the Vedas like at Macara's instance Maximal was trying to do. You don't have to do that. But try to see what is getting precipitated in and around you. Look at the coexistence. Now, from small examples, you weave out. You try to weave out a thought system and try to understand it, and then possibly try to leave it. Then you will find that how easy it is for you to coexist. We coexist not only with other human beings, we coexist with all living beings, animated and inanimate. We coexist with the entire nature. That famous Upanishadic Shanti mantra says, Thou Shanti, Aushade Shanti, Vanaspade Shanti. It talks about every aspect of the cosmos, and we coexist with that. So, when you talk about Bharat, when you want to look at Bharat, please try to understand the Sanskriti of Bharat and try to understand Bharat as you see around you, how things happen, how people have been coexisting from when we don't know. Let us say we don't know. Don't try to fix a time because we really do not know. Well, that's all, folks, for now. We'll meet with another thought system, so maybe later. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.